let's kick off. It is, what are we? This is day 23 of building in public. I'm building an AI application, going from an idea, building it up live on a stream every day for 1 hour, and then launching by the end of the 30-day period, or at least that is going to be the plan. Let's see how it goes. We're on day number 23, moving towards a beta launch on day, well, I guess day 25 at the end of the week. If you want to be part of the beta launch and you're watching this live or shortly afterwards, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, not the YouTube, well, make sure you subscribe there too. We've just hit 6,000 subscribers, so thank you for that. But make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. The newsletter is where I'll be sending out the beta invites, so make sure you are there. Awesome. So yesterday I actually did a side quest. My main task is building an application which we're going to be taking to market by the end of next week. So we're getting there. But Lovable are running a little competition right now, a kind of a friendly competition where each day they have a different build challenge, and you can build something and you launch it in a day. So I spent about an hour and a half yesterday building an explainer comic tool. So this is anime me. You can tell it's anime me because of the dark eyebrows and the blonde hair. It's a bit skinnier than me, but I'll take that. But I built a tool which can create these kind of comics. So you can put in a concept that you want to explain. For example, I did one on imposter syndrome, and it will generate, oh, this is imposter syndrome. It will generate comics based on that particular topic. So I built this using Nano Banana, and it took me about an hour and a half. So you can build very quickly using Lovable, especially with Lovable Cloud, which is their new release. Not sponsored by Lovable, I just like the tool. So this allows me to create 4-panel comics and then download them all. What was the difficulty? I don't need to talk about this, but I just found it very interesting, was doing text. So what I've done is an overlay text ability, so that you can create text box that you can then move around. These can actually be edited and shifted around and moved, because generating text in AI is still a bit squiffy. But yeah, I thought that was fun. It's a fun little side quest. I highly recommend checking out the Lovable challenge at the moment. Today's challenge, let's actually look it up, lovable.dev/cloud, I think. Today's challenge is building Lovable for blank. So what I might do is create a Lovable for marketing. So a lot of problems, a problem that people are having is they are creating applications using Lovable, using Bolt, using Replete, whatever. They create their application, then they're like, now what? Now what do I do? How do I launch this? So I might actually create a tool which allows you to plug in what it is you've built, and it helps you come up with a marketing plan and a set of steps. I think that'll be a fun project, something like that. It won't necessarily be Lovable for marketing, but some kind of useful tool. And tomorrow is building a video game. I will not be able to do tomorrow, which I'm annoyed about, because that'd be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do it on my own time. But tomorrow, what am I doing? I'm meeting a bunch of AI creators and influencers who are here from America, and I have a party at Google with Dick and Dom. If anyone knows who Dick and Dom is, they're going to be at the party, which is very, very strange, but that'll be fun. Right, enough blabbing, let's get back. So this is the side quest. We're going to go back to our main quest, which is this one. So how are we doing? We have a security error, apparently. Good. It's lovely to wake up in the morning to a security error. Oh, unidentified owner. Couldn't publish your site. Okay, that's new. So let's see if the site is working, up and running. The site is working. We've got Instagram, so we added Instagram yesterday. We can now pull videos from TikTok, we can pull them from YouTube, etc, etc. So our basic functionality is now in play. Let's see what the security issue is. Okay, that is not a real issue, I've worked out. That's just from my testing. So as I build it to test, it shows me the email address in the Chrome inspector at the bottom, which I was using for testing, but we will remove that. So why is it not publishing is the bigger question. Good morning, TikTok. Just scrolling through. Oh dear. That's going to make the stream very difficult. Let's see if that's just on this project or if that's a wider issue, because if that's a wider issue, we might not be able to do the stream. So I've moved the character. What can we change here? Gosh. Oh, no, we don't need to change anything. We'll just press this. This might be the end of the stream if Lovable is having problems. So let's check out status.lovable.dev. We're fully operational. No, you're not. Am I on a VPN? No, I'm not on a VPN. I was on a VPN because I was using Sora 2 earlier, and it's not available in the UK, but there's a workaround. Well then, I don't think we can continue in that case. Let's see, status is definitely saying we're up. So I do have an option, which is to pull everything. It's a drastic option, and one that I wouldn't normally be doing at this stage, but I could pull it. It's currently sending all of my work into GitHub. I could pull it down into Cursor and continue to work in Cursor, move it away from Lovable. I don't really want to do that because the whole purpose of this project is to show that this can be done in Lovable. However, today apparently it can't be done in Lovable because we are having some kind of problem. Let's see if we can do this and see where it goes. Trip Hopper, yeah, Lovable is a vibe coding platform, basically a platform that allows you to use natural language, so you can use English to build software applications. So I'm building a web app which allows me to transcribe videos. Okay, so this is going very wrong. I need to message some people at Lovable, I think. It allows you to transcribe videos and generate lead magnets off the back of them. And we can use Lovable to build this very, very quickly. And I've been building it over the last 23 days. However, we have some kind of catastrophic error. So I'll do one thing. It's very unlikely to be useful. So I've got credits. I'm in Lovable Pro. I'm in my account. No, I think they have an error, which makes it very difficult for me to proceed. Let's try one more time. If not, I'll have to kill the stream, unfortunately. Oh, come on. It worked. Okay, that was an entirely temporary error, thank God. Right. Where was I? So that has totally thrown me for a loop. I still have this cold as well, so I'm at like 90% now, but my head has been absolutely full of cotton wool for the last few days. So we have a few things working. We've got Instagram working. We've got TikTok working. We've got YouTube working. What I would like to do is shift the YouTube scraper. So currently the scraper I'm using is this one called YouTube Scraper, which is fine. However, it is very slow. So if we look at these runs here, they take 25 seconds, 16 seconds, 18 seconds. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it just means that using the YouTube scraper just is a bit of a slog. Whereas when we use this one, the runs are 5 seconds, 4 seconds, etc., 3 seconds. Like, it's a lot faster. So that's going to mean a much faster response for my user. So I kind of want to switch from this YouTube scraper over to this video transcript scraper, and then stop using this one. This one is $5 for 1,000 videos, which is I should be able to work this out. 0.005. Yeah. So half of a cent per video, which is very cheap. And this one is, I spend $20 a month, and then I spend a bit more on overage, but I'm not sure how much I spend on overage. That'd be very useful to know. I think it's going to be worth it though, because I want it to be faster when we generate YouTube. So what I'm going to do is switch this YouTube scraper to the video transcript scraper. Hi Lovable. So the TikTok, Instagram scrapers are working. The YouTube scraper also works. That was one of the first things that we built in, but currently we use an Apify actor called streamers/YouTube scraper. It's fine, but a bit slow. So I'd actually like to change to the InVideo IQ/video transcript scraper, which we are currently using for TikTok. So I want to use the same actor that we use for TikTok. I want to use that for YouTube as well, because it is faster and cheaper. So can we make a demo page first, which would be new YouTube scraper, and hook that up to the scraper that we use for TikTok, which is the InVideo IQ/video transcript scraper, and test that with YouTube. And if that works, we will replace the core YouTube scraper functionality. But first, we start with a test page. Thank you. So I'm going to transition the actor that we're using to pull the information from YouTube. But before ripping out the currently working feature, which is my YouTube scraper, which works at the moment, before tearing that out, I want to make a test page, test the new functionality, make sure it works, make sure it's fast, make sure it's worthwhile making a switch. And if that works and we can get the information flowing into my website, I'm going to pull out the previous work and replace it with this new work. So we're doing it step by step, because I could just say, hey, can you replace it with this? But the problem with that is it's going to go into the old implementation and kind of try and chop and change it, and it may or may not work. And if it doesn't work, I'm not sure if that's because the new method doesn't work or it's because we're trying to patch over an old method. It's just messy. So we're doing a clean test. Then we'll use that, make sure that works, and then we'll use that to replace the old functionality. It's just a better practice, because otherwise we won't know where the problem is, and diagnosing the issue will be a lot harder. And as you've seen, if you've watched many of these streams, most of the work when you're vibe coding is fixing. Lots of people assume you can say one prompt, like build me Salesforce in one prompt, one shot Salesforce for me, don't make any mistakes. It doesn't work. Like, you need to work step by step by step, and then every time you implement something new, you need to check it works, and if it doesn't, you need to tweak it and fix it until it does. And this is where knowing how to code is really useful, because you can work with these tools rather than rely on them entirely. Abdullah says, how can I use the app? So if you go to lovable.dev, you can download it. Or do you mean my app? So the one that I'm building, to use that, I'm going to be releasing beta keys on Saturday. So subscribe to the newsletter. The link is in the bio. Or if you mean how do I use Lovable, go to lovable.dev. It's actually free to get started. I don't think you even need you don't even need to make an account. You can just get started, so you can try it out, and then you'll need to make an account and potentially pay if you're using a lot of it. But they give you, I think, 5 free credits to get started. Okay, so it's made a new page. I'm going to push that. King in Yellow, or King Yellow, says, what you're building. It is an application which allows me to turn video content into lead magnets. So specifically, I can grab videos from YouTube, TikTok and Instagram, and I can convert them into okay, these have not been saving. Very interesting. Something's gone wrong. This always happens when I'm shown what it is. Let's go and look at the YouTube ones I know work. I can pull a YouTube, so I can grab the transcript from YouTube like this, and then I convert it into a lead magnet, like a checklist, for example, or a PDF guide. Wow, lots of things are broken, so we need to fix all of them in a minute. And then I can make a landing page for those lead magnets. What is going on in here? This is something has happened, so I'm going to have to clear all this up. but that's fine. We're not ready for launch yet. We're aiming for beta testing at the end of the week, so we have some time. Okay, so it's created me a get transcript of YouTube. Oh no, sorry, YouTube new scraper test. So we're going to try that out. Okay, and we're going to we'll pull this video in. And we're just making sure that we get the JSON basically. So then I come over to here. Is this the right one? I should see in a moment, if this works, a little actor appear here. Basically, it's a little agent that goes off to YouTube and grabs the information. I'm not seeing it. So that's, oh. What happened there? What happened there? Something? No, that was using the old actor. No, it wasn't. How did it grab the YouTube transcript? What's the date today? It's the 1st, right? Runs. How the hell did it do that? It's done the job. YouTube just released this new feature, so it's done. But I don't know how it did it. Am I going mad? So last run started. These are all yesterday. It's the 1st of October, right? So yeah, 30th. It's just managed to pull a transcript without using the Apify, which is amazing if we can do that. But I don't know how it's done that. I'm at a loss. I'm not often speechless. So here's my runs. Here we go. 30th. This was the latest run in Apify, but that was yesterday. So it's successfully done the job without me knowing how. Let me grab another video and try that again. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one from Fireship, plug it into there. Testing. Benjamin Franklin once said, okay, so that worked. There we go. That's shown up. So I think the last one didn't fire in Apify, so I got it for free, which is nice. But so description, transcript, here we go. There it is, JSON. So the output will be this, and in JSON it looks like this. So you can see the basically the captions, the subtitles are pulled into my application. And I pay for that. Let's see, I pay 0.00, so that's so small that it doesn't even register at 3 decimal places, so cheap. Cool. Okay, that test worked and the JSON has successfully been pulled. Can we replace the previous, so in the live function that we access on the dashboard, can we replace the previous edge function with this new edge function? So basically replacing the previous Apify actor with the new Apify actor in the live dashboard version, and delete references to the old actor. Again, the name of that is streamers/YouTube scraper. Get rid of any references to it and basically remove it from our application. Thank you. Cool. So what this allows me to do is to scrape this information way faster. So the previous one, it would take 18 or 25 seconds to get the information from YouTube, which means my customer is sitting there watching a spinning circle for 25 seconds, which for a lot of people would be, they'll assume it's crashed or they've assumed something's gone wrong. Whereas we're now going to use one which, let's check how quick that was. It takes, oh, no, sorry, it took 3 seconds. So instead of 30 seconds, it's taken 3 seconds to get the same information. It seems to be cheaper as well. So we're going to use this one. It's cheaper and better. Courtney says, is this using the other API? So it's the same API, technically. I have one Apify API. But the cool thing about Apify is that you can go to the Apify store and it has loads and loads and loads of actors. An actor is basically a little piece of software that you can connect into your piece of software. It gets a bit confusing, but things like, I don't know, let's say I wanted to scrape Google Maps and grab listings. I could use an Apify actor, which will do that for me, and then feed it back through my API into my application. So Apify is very, very cool. The other reason we're doing it is technically we could go and get this ourselves from our app. We could build a scraper inside of our app. It's not illegal, but there are gray areas in terms of service. So for example, if I kept going to YouTube and grabbing information, after about 250 times, YouTube's going to flag me up, and they're going to flag that IP address and be like, they're up to something. So we use Apify basically to put a layer of protection in between, and these actors have things like residential proxy for YouTube videos, for example. So it's going to pretend to be coming from a residential IP address in America, because then you could get more usage. And there we go, I can describe it. This is a workaround for some non-English YouTube videos with only auto-generated captions. If you enable this, if unable to retrieve the transcript, the actor will fall back. So use a residential proxy to retrieve the transcript. So that Apify just gives us ability to use these kind of security tools to make it safer for us to get this information. We could build it all ourselves, but why bother? Because that run cost me 0.000 cents. In fact, it cost me 0.001 actor complete units. So once I've got 10 of them, maybe this will cost me a cent. So this is costing me, no, not even a cent. This is costing me 1/100th or 1/1000th of a cent to do. So it's fine. I'll just pay Apify. Cool, that's working. Let's see if it's done that. Replaced your old streamer. So we're going to see if that's worked. Because again, we never ever believe what the AI is telling us. We will always go and check it. King Yellow says Apify looks handy. It is. So the great thing on Apify is you can kind of go, you can see all these, like this e-commerce, SEO tools, MCP servers, lead generation. What are these? Lead finder. Oh, so if you do lead stuff, there's Apollo. So if you pay for Apollo, it's a couple of $100 a month, but they have an ability, you can just scrape leads from Apollo. And I think it's very cheap. It is, oh, this is not the one. There's another one. There's one that's like, you can get 10,000 leads for a couple of dollars. So yeah, there's some very cool stuff on here. It's not illegal. It's just everything's a bit grey, a grey area. But I'm not showing you an illegal platform, just in case anyone's like, oh my god, what is this? Right, so this now YouTube scraper should be using the new okay, that didn't work. So that could be the routing issue. So okay, cool, thanks for that. It is not working at the moment because it's saying there's an authentication issue. You know what, let's actually remove the Google authentication entirely, because we're going to use the Apify integration instead. So there's no use worrying about the Google account connection. So can you remove that requirement from the Google lead generating URL field? We're going to get rid of that. So that means remove the routing or the routing as well, and just fall back or always use the Apify actor InVideoIQ video transcript scraper. Let's simplify this. Thank you. Already built something successful with Lovable for this project? No, this is the first time building something of this size on Lovable. With Lovable, I mainly do small internal tools, but the reason I'm doing it, this whole build on Lovable, is to show that anyone can kind of jump in. As you can see, the way I'm communicating with it is like I would with a human. You can go and see the code, it's all here in the background, but I want to show people that basically anyone can vibe code. So I've launched lots of things this year, but not with Lovable specifically. I love building with Lovable, but this is expanding my idea list. Tell me about it. They're also running a challenge at the moment. Lovable, where is it? Lovable Cloud. So today's challenge is Lovable for blank. So I'm going to be building something in my own time out the back of this stream. And then tomorrow is building a video game, which is fun. Okay, so it is going ahead and it is changing. So this is kind of a legacy issue. When I first created this application, a couple of weeks ago, you could only get YouTube videos, and you could only get YouTube videos that belong to your channel. So it is much more limited. And the reason was we were using the official Google API. And with the official Google API, you can only access your own information. However, I realized that's kind of limiting. So what we've done is we've added the Apify actor as well to go and get that information from any channel. So like this, for me, Fireship, that's not on my channel. I wish it was. It's a wonderful channel, but that is not my channel. But we still have in place the Google authorization to use our own channel. So I'm just getting it out of the way, basically. Which is a shame, because I spent a day or two working out the OAuth with Google, but we don't need it. It just gets in the way and overcomplicates. I'm building Deelster.Netherlands at the moment with Lovable. Oh, we're having the problem that we had earlier. Let's try that again. I'm going to check out. Can I check it out? The online marketplace for digital ondernemers. You're going to have to tell me what that... I can read the rest of it. I was in Amsterdam recently, and I loved that a lot of it just is very similar. Like, I can tell that's marketplace. But I don't know what on the Nemers is. You've managed to not make it look like a Lovable app, which is good, because they all have this kind of default. I'm sure everyone knows the look, kind of the purple and blue gradients and stuff like that. This is very Lovable. So I'm glad that you've moved away from that. This is all listings. Website with logo, 10,000 euros. Website and logo. Very cool. And it's just for Holland, or just for Netherlands. Right, did we manage to save? Yes, we did. So let's go back to here, push that into there. That did not work. I do need to kind of make sure it's not using my password. Not using my Google account though, that's the thing. This one. Okay, so that's working, but I need to make sure that's not using... Oh wait. I'll be able to know if it manages to pull the information from someone else's channel, that means I know it's not using my Google account. There we go. N8N will change your life as a developer. If I was using the official API, I would not have been able to do that because this is not my channel. But it did pull that information, which means it's using the Apify actor. So we're going to go over to here and check it out. It should be this one. There we go. Is that the right one? I just did it twice in a row, which is stupid. What time is it? I don't think that's the right one. Runs Apify actor. What time is it? So I think it's doing the weird thing again where it's not. Either I'm missing something and I'm being stupid and I can't see it, or it's not logging them here in Appify, which is very weird, and I'm getting it for free. Let's do another one. Here we go. Here's one about EA being purchased by, I think, Saudi Arabia, and who's purchasing it? Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner. Cool. Fine. Yeah, bad news for video game fans, I think. Okay. Oh, this is fine. Okay, so it pulled this EA acquisition impact checklist, a practical checklist for gamers and investors to assess the potential impact of EA's acquisition on the gaming landscape. Cool. So let's see if it managed to pull. So it should be this run at the top. There it is. Okay, so it is working. So for some reason, not all of the runs are appearing in Appify. That's not the worst thing, because I don't get charged for them. But my concern is that some of them will fail. They seem to be working, and then I don't get charged, which is fine. But I'd rather get charged and know that it's going to work, if that makes sense. So it feels a bit squiffy. So what I want to do is I want to log out, quickly sign up for an I don't want to sign up for an account, it's annoying. I need to make sure that is not dependent on my login. So real admin. And what do we want to do to the flow is the other thing. So if I sign up, because we can actually remove. No, we'll leave the continue with Google because that's a nice way. It's an easier way for people to log in. Cool. But we no longer require that login to run the YouTube extractor. That's fine. Okay. Right. So we've switched our YouTube, got Instagram working, got TikTok working. Now we have this mess down here. Yeah, something's gone very wrong here. But it went wrong yesterday and I missed it. Okay. Oh, this was when I was getting Instagram to work. So these are from Instagram. It was duplicating. So we have a bunch of different issues here. So one is that we're not pulling the thumbnails from Instagram and TikTok. That's a relatively small issue. That's more cosmetic. I'd like to have the thumbnails there because otherwise you can't tell which is which. So if you go down to my YouTube ones, you can see which is which down here because it has thumbnails and it has the name much better. So that's cosmetic. We'll deal with that. That's fine. The bigger one is when we do an Instagram, it is, I think it's Instagram. Oh, let's go ahead. Okay. Sorry, Adam. I'm going to grab your video. I love you, man. Adam helped me get into Sora 2 this morning because I was feeling sorry for myself because Sora 2 is not released in the UK and it's not in the App Store here. And he told me, no, just use your VPN and go to the browser-based version, so sora.chatgpt.com. So he helped me. So thank you, Adam. So there we go. ChatGPT is this one. So that works. But let's go back to the generator and see how that. Right, so that is showing up as a text rather than Instagram, and it is not showing the generated lead magnets. So let's fix that first. We'll go one at a time. Oh, Courtney says, I meant maybe double check these free runs. These free, nothing's ever free. I mean, yeah, I'm also worried something's gone wrong here. Aren't using the other Appify actor. Yes, so they're not. The reason I can tell is because when you click on runs, that's all of your runs for all of the actors. So I'm not seeing the other actor popping up. I did go and check them as well, and the last ones were on the 26th, so it's not that. a good check though. I don't know where they're going, which does worry me. Free is nice, but broken and free is not nice. Okay, first let's let's deal with this Instagram. Okay, we have a few problems in the dashboard, specifically in the content sources. When Instagram videos are generated, Instagram lead magnets are generated, a couple of things have gone wrong. One, it is not saving it as Instagram in the source, instead it's saying text. Two, it is showing the generic text icon instead of the thumbnail, probably because the lead source is text. So that needs to be fixed. You need to make sure the thumbnail, which is pulled from the Amplify actor for Instagram, is used as the thumbnail. And three, probably the biggest, the lead magnet is not saving to the content source inside the dashboard, so I cannot activate it again. To confirm, the transcript is successfully collected and the transcript is successfully placed into our database, and the preview of the lead magnet checklist was successfully created. It's just not saving. Cool, thank you. Oh, Courtney, no, not your bad at all. Courtney says, my bad, sorry, that's what you get for listening on the side and not always watching. I assume people are not watching raptly attentive. I assume everyone's, making their lunch or doing something else. I would be. Yeah, so I did check it, and it's a good shout. But no, I don't know where those free runs are going. Unless there were videos that... Unless they're videos that have already been transcribed and it's caching them and it's just pulling back. Because I have in my database, my apps database, the URLs and then the transcripts. So did I build a cache feature which can pull those again if they already exist? I can't remember building it. It doesn't mean that I didn't, especially because I've had a cold all week and I don't know what's going on. Because that would be quite cool if it didn't need to go and collect that again. If it checked, hey, quickly check through the database, see what you have, see if you already have the transcript, and if you already have the transcript, use that. That would be really cool. Sorry, questions. Good luck building, mate. See you later. You too, King. Nano, I just got a business idea. Good. Build it in Lovable. Also, non-lovable news. Anthropic are running a Sonnet 4.5 challenge. Here we go. Found it. So Alex Albert is talking about it. We're running a built with Sonnet 4.5 challenge. You want to see the coolest things you can build with 4.5 in the next week. Started today. Yesterday. And the 4 categories are keep coding, so most technically impressive, keep researching, most compelling exploration of a topic, keep learning, best educational application, and keep creating, the most artistic use. So those could be interesting to have a look at. Just realised. Oh, what's going on with Oh, that's no good. I'm sorry to YouTube, your screen is stuck. Wow, that's really unhelpful. There we go. So Google Chrome is stuck looking at something else. Not Google Chrome, I'm sorry. Google. There you go, I've unstuck you. I've never seen that happen. I'm assuming there's a button on Ecamm which freezes the screen, which I have clicked on, and you haven't been able to see anything. That's really annoying. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, fix the Instagram lead magnet. So let's have a look and see if that works. going to get a video, we're going to plug it back into here. So we need Adam's video, come to here. Boop. Oh, we should get a new one actually, because that's going to go in the same place. Okay, we'll get one from Nat. Thank you, Nat. So we're going to take Nat's video. Well, we'll see if Adam's worked first. No. I'll run Nats in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I've definitely got a new screen. Instagram, put in Nat's video, generate lead magnet. Are you technically proficient or just a vibe coder? I am just a vibe coder for my sins. So I run businesses. So I don't like the word, but I guess an entrepreneur. I run businesses, sold a few, purchased a few, and previously I've worked with technical partners, but now I think it's really exciting that entrepreneurs, people who have business ideas, can just build them themselves despite being technically or not technically proficient, which I think is really exciting. Bad news for the software engineers, of course. All right, so ChatGPT or ChatGPT. So this is something we need to fix. Is sometimes the transcription will be wrong, which means the transcription errors make it into our lead magnet. That's no good. I'm going to create a lead magnet. I'm interested in your business idea, Nano. But yes, build it. And when you build it, and you need help sharing it, to bring it to the live, and we'll get some people to go there. Okay, let's have a look. So we're in the dashboard. Video by brand Nat. Wow, that's really bad. Oh, okay. So got a few things going on. It has recognized its Instagram, so that's a start. It has created an entry for the checklist. It allows me to open that entry. That's cool. And presumably I can generate a landing page from it. Let's quickly check. But we're getting some weird things like source video, video by brand Nat is not very useful. There we go. Unlock the full potential, blah, 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 blah. So I can generate a page. Master ChatGPT, so that's the transcription error, which we need to deal with. Well, we're not going to change the transcribing service. We are going to allow for manual editing. So that all works. Cool. So we are getting there. So what are we missing? Oh, that's new. It totally disappeared Nat, or the video that we just created. Okay. Okay, we had some success there. The lead magnet appeared in the dashboard under content sources. It appeared as an Instagram lead magnet, which is correct, and it had an entry for the checklist I just created inside of the drop down accordion, so that was correct. However, when I went to view the lead magnet and then return to the dashboard, the process video and the lead magnet had disappeared entirely, so they had not been they're either not saved into the database, or the persistence is lost at some point. Scratch that, I just pressed refresh and it brought back the lead magnet. There are actually two lead magnets visible now. So one has no description available. It does work and I can access it. The second one has a description with key elements, etc., and is also visible. I think the second one got created when I generated a landing page from the first, if that makes sense. Anyway, a couple of things. We need to make sure there's an automatic refresh so that the video remains or seemingly persistent, so it continues to be there. And then we need to look at why we now have 2 checklist entries rather than 1. Check your logs. Okay, that's a little confusing, but we'll see what we can do with that. And we'll just work through bit by bit. Nano says, oh, I took yours and Nat's course before. This Nat, where is she? There, this Nat. I didn't choose Nat on purpose for this, but that's great. And built-in Zapier, now I can connect all. Yeah, so this is kind of like a next stage. The Zapier, learning to build automations in Zapier and make.com, etc. is really useful because it gets you thinking about those problems. But then we can take it to like a next level, which is building a full application. So I'm glad you're able to make that next leap and jump. And Lovable is one of the applications, but there's Bolt, there is Replete, there's Base 44. I personally prefer Lovable, but I find people like different ones, so just try them all out. They all have free plans, so you can test them out, see what works for you. And then beyond that, we have things like Cursor. Cursor is fantastic, but it's a bit more technically complex. And then we have Claude Code and Codex above that. So actually I did a guide, would have been last weekend or 2 weekends ago, talking about all of this. There we go, becoming an AI builder. So basically giving a roadmap about how you can learn all this stuff, because a lot of people will be told, if you follow social media, you'll see like, you must use Claude Code or you must use Codex. This is step 1 of using Claude Code. Like if you go to the official guide, the official first step is step 1, install Claude Code, npm install. If you have Node.js 18 or newer installed, then simply npm install It doesn't tell you where you do this. You do it in your terminal or your command line, but there's no way for you to know that. And if you do work that out, it looks like this, which is it's intimidating if you've never touched code, if you've never touched the command line. This kind of stuff is like, I have no idea what this is. And God, if you don't have Node.js 18 installed, you're going to need to work out how to get that onto your device, etc., etc., etc. So it's not a good place to start if you do not know how to code. Instead, start with a gateway drug, so something like Lovable, something like Bolt, which is going to get you started. It's going to get you building, and you will get excited to build more and more and more. So I think of this as a gateway drug. It's the way in, basically. And then from there, you would want to look at something like Cursor. So once I've built the basics in Lovable or whatever vibe coding app, I can actually send it over to GitHub using this button up here. So everything is synced up with GitHub. Think of GitHub as basically cloud storage. It's more complex than that, but for now that will do. You can then pull it from your cloud storage down into another tool like Cursor. And Cursor is kind of the next step where you get to see more of the code. It looks a lot more like this stuff that you're seeing on screen here, which initially, if you are not comfortable with that, is terrifying. So Lovable is a good way in, then you go to Cursor, and then if you want, you can have a look at Claude Code and Codex. I think vibe coding is a really good kind of backdoor entry into coding, and it's a very different way to learn, because most people would learn by taking a course, going and studying it at university, reading a textbook, and you learn how to do everything. You learn the knowledge, but instead what we're doing is just enacting that knowledge, building ASAP. And then when we need more knowledge, we can learn at the same time. So I think vibe coding is super exciting for that reason. I can also understand why, if you are a coder, you might not like it. Are there web developers who avoid TypeScript? Do you mean like a web developing tool or web developing people? Because there's certainly people who don't want to use TypeScript. Or do you mean like a tool? So with something like this, you can say don't use TypeScript, but Lovable and a lot of them will default to TypeScript. I think Lovable uses Vite and TypeScript. Lovable. think it's JavaScript, TypeScript. So specializes in React and TypeScript frameworks. Yeah, and Vite is Vite TypeScript. How to upgrade Vite? Create your first React TypeScript project with Vite. Yeah, that is what it defaults to, that particular stack. Replete is better if you want to move into others, or Cursor. Cursor is going to be the one that, if you want full control of what language you're using, use Cursor. Oh, got that security error. That's going to be the same one. It says it's outdated. Is in my debugging. So I'm not too worried about that until we go live. Right, we're going to try again. We will get another NAT video talking about Sora 2, which is really good. I only got access this morning, but ooh, I was bad mouthing it yesterday, and now I regret that because it's really good. I thought it would just be AI slop generating, but the fact that you can make videos of you and your friends, like, and tell inside jokes and stories and mess with each other, is kind of cool. It's really cool. So they've added the social element into it, so it's more than just a video generator, it's a social video generator. So I think they've been very smart. Okay, so we are generating. It's taken a while. Let's have a look at our runs. That is running in the background. Taken a very long time. 40 seconds. Okay, 45 seconds, that's extremely long. And then something went wrong. No, I'm not sure if it timed out, because that took such a long time to get, or something else happened. Let's go back to the dashboard. On the dashboard, let's refresh the dashboard. Okay, so that for some reason took a lot longer to run inside of Apify. It took 45 seconds instead of the normal 9 seconds. Oh, and it did not return a result. So I think did you change what you send to it? Because I was not able to generate from the Instagram URL field. It failed. So the input I'll copy in for you. And it returned blank, nothing. This might be an Apify issue, but that's I'm going to put it in chat mode instead of it rushing off. Because I don't think it changed anything on the input edge function. I see the issue. It ran successfully, 45 seconds, yes. Returned empty dataset, no transcript data was extracted. Looking at the logs, I can see exactly what happened. It ran successfully, yes. It returned an empty array. Okay, so it hasn't changed it. She's definitely talking, right? Yeah. I was doing this yesterday. I kept running tests with a video that didn't it didn't have any audio in it, and it wasn't working, funnily enough. Let's just try. Maybe that was just a random Apify error. Just a little worrying. Otherwise, we'll try with a different video. But again, weird little edge cases like this is what takes up all of the time. So that took a lot less time, so that's good. Input is that, output. Okay, that worked. And that worked. So what we'll probably need is a fallback in place for when it doesn't work. That's the first time I've seen Apify do that though, so that is strange. So that fully worked. Let's create that lead magnet and see if it creates the duplicates inside of our dashboard. And then I'm going to go and pick up a new bike. I've bought myself a Brompton, you know, the folding bikes. Because living in London, it's a pain carrying my bike in and out every day, so I've grabbed myself a Brompton. Okay, that worked. That created a checklist. Jolly good. And this is it. So view lead magnet. Okay. And it's still there, so we have persistence, and it did not create 2. Cool. I'm actually going to generate a landing page from it and see if that created the duplicate. Otherwise, I think it's fixed. So then all we need to fix our landing page. Cool. All we need to fix will be the cosmetic issues. So a couple of things here. I'd love to have that description. I don't know why that's gone. Video by brand nat, very unhelpful. We want to pull that title up to here, and we want to put the thumbnail in here. So those are the quick fixes. Those are primarily cosmetic, though the actual functionality is working. Okay, cool. We reran it and it worked, so no problem with the Apify functionality. Also, the last fix that you made has worked. It has created one lead magnet, only one lead magnet, and it's successfully persistent. I did not have to click refresh, it was just there. That's good. A couple of small tweaks. Inside of the lead magnet card, it says no description available. I would like the description to be in there, please. Also, the video title itself, so not the lead magnet but the video, just says video by brand.nat, so it just has a video by whoever the creator is. I want to use yeah, we need to make sure there is a title there that can be used to identify the video, please. And finally, the thumbnail is still just a generic text document, so can we make sure the Instagram thumbnail image is inserted into there as well? Thank you. Okay, so these are some last tweaks. I realized I don't want this title because this is for a checklist. This is the lead magnet title, not the video title. So I basically need something like, well, I need the video title. So literally the video title for this was N8M will change your life as a developer. So all we need to do is grab the video title, which for some reason it had not done. Instagram doesn't have a video title. Of course it doesn't. I'm being thick. So what could we get? Might need to generate one, because grabbing the description is not going to be the best thing, because often it will have too much crap in it. Oh, it's Adam. Hey, Adam. I'm not just picking on the Australians, by the way. I don't know why all my examples have been with the Australians. Sebastian says, are you using Lovable Cloud? No, actually, because I set this project up before the launch of Lovable Cloud. However, I did yesterday build a quick kind of side project using Lovable Cloud, and it was really, really, really good. I deployed it within an hour and a half, so I was very happy with Lovable Cloud. I'll hop over to that actually quickly. So this, I built it as part of their challenge. There's a build one thing a day, and I created it in about an hour and a half, and this is using Lovable Cloud, so you can actually everything's already in the cloud, which is just amazing. It's here, so you can see the databases, the offsetting, storage, etc. is just done for you, which compared to previous, it just makes it so much simpler. So I'm a big fan of it so far. I've only tested it on this one project, but I got the whole thing up and running in I'd say an hour and a half, and normally it would take me 3 or 4 because you have to mess around with auth and databases, etc. But this was just like bam, zoom, super fast. Okay, we are. So I got distracted. A good distraction, but I got distracted. Let's go back to this one. Let's make sure that's updated. Can it be connected to Google Maps and large roofs for solar panels? Okay, lots of questions here. This is giving me an. This is obviously to do with the business idea you just had. I'm in the wrong one, aren't I? So Google Maps, yes, 100%. Let me just pull this up. So how you connect to Google Maps, there's a couple of ways. So Google Maps has its own API. So the Google Maps platform. And you can do a huge amount of stuff with this. You can pull information off Google Maps. You can embed a map in your application, obviously. Here we go, add a Google Map to a React app, etc. You do need to pay, but it's not massive. But they have a fairly complicated, I would say a fairly complicated pricing scheme. Very complicated. God, look at all of this. What you can do though is once you kind of start to work out what it is you actually want to do, you can feed all this information into Claude or ChatGPT and ask it to help you work out what this actually looks like, because good God, it's complicated. But they have an API, so you can access all of that information, or you can pull stuff off Appify. Again, depending on what you're doing and whether you need like real-time data or you just need to pull in loads of information into your application. You can use scrapers, for example. But so it kind of depends. If you want real time, you're probably going to use the Google Map API. So when there are changes, they come into your application. If you just need to get a lot of information, so like lots of locations, for example, you could use Appify to grab all of that. In terms of these large roofs for... Oh, you're trying to... Oh, I know what you're doing. Okay. Ooh. All right. So you'd want to... Okay, I think I know what you're doing. You would want to scrape. Let's see, can we actually get the Google Map? Because scraping is just, that will give us the location details. So you can get like the restaurant, telephone number, reviews, etc. What we kind of want is the actual images, right? And then we want to look for large roofs within the image. So what you probably want is you want to be able to download every kind of map square for Google Image, and then you want to throw them into a visual AI to identify and mark large roofs. And then we want to send that marked up or that annotated image back to Google Maps somehow, basically saying what are these addresses. So we're going to... I'm just trying to work it out now. And then we get the addresses, the residential addresses for the houses with the large roofs. Yeah, it would be doable. You're going to need the satellite map data, and then you're going to need a visual recognition AI, and then you're going to need to be able to link the visual recognition and these kind of annotated maps back to Google Maps in order to locate what that address is. And then you'd have some kind of outreach off the back of that in order to send letters, for example. Okay, very, very cool, if that's what you're doing. But I think that's a really cool idea. What I would do is go and talk to Claude, explain what you want to do, and say, hey, how do I do this? Is this possible? What am I missing? Is this a good idea? And Claude or ChatGPT will be able to walk you through what that looks like from a technical implementation point of view. And if you don't understand something, you just say, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you help me? Can you explain that in a simpler way? And it will be able to walk you through. What are we doing? Oh, I know. I'm seeing if that got the thumbnails. So I'm going to get... No, I'm not going to get that one because it doesn't have any talk. I'm going to grab this one. What we're looking for this time are thumbnails. Thumbnails and a title. If we have those, we're good, and we're done with the stream. So Nano, I think it's doable. It's a really fun project as well. Okay, lead magnets are ready. Google has a presentation to make that it's free. Awesome. Then we come back to here, and it did not work. And it has lost this. Boo! It did not generate the lead magnet, and I cannot even refresh it. And it has pulled the, I think the description, comment nat to get this presentation. So it didn't work. That's okay. I'm gonna finish a see. Claude is like, I fixed it. I've done it. Lies. I'm gonna fix it off stream because it's boring, but we're nearly there. And unfortunately, the next few streams are basically going to be going through little things like that and making sure they work. Sorry, but a lot of this is that. It's not the exciting stuff. The first prompt you put into Lovable and it builds, you know, the front end and the sales page, and it builds all that exciting stuff is intoxicating. It's wonderful. I love starting new projects, but then you get into this stuff like the annoying stuff. But that's fine, it's part of the job. Awesome, thank you guys. Sorry for the slow start, because Lovable was playing up, and sorry for YouTube for the frozen screen for most of the show. Again, I've had a cold, or maybe COVID, I don't know, for the last couple of days. My head is not working, but I'm struggling through. I'm here, I'm grinding through. For better or worse. Thank you, everybody. I will be back tomorrow. Yes, I will. I've got a lunch appointment, but yeah, I'll do it probably earlier tomorrow, and maybe a slightly shorter stream, because I'm meeting with Marcin AI and a bunch of other TikTok and Instagram people, which I'm excited about. So great. Have a lovely day, and see you tomorrow.